Hey everyone, how are you today? It's another Monday. Can you believe already? I can't. It's unbelievable. Anyway, welcome. I'm going to just see if I can find myself on my page. Hopefully I am there because those that have been watching me know that I have gone to the wrong page, only to wonder why the hell I am seeing no comments. Okay, we're just getting fired up. And here I am. That's great. So I'm on here and let me know that you're here. The live button is up there if I am on live. If you're watching a replay, please pop on for the replay and say where you're from. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, it was a beautiful day yesterday. It was so nice after having some cold days. We have a lot happening in a couple of days. On Wednesday, our new catalogue goes live, and that means you get to see all the products, or you can get to order all the products that are available. I'm Anita Mazzero. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I have not been drinking. So anyway, so that's what we're about and going that way. So I've got a card for you. I'm following on from last week where I used Spotlight on Nature, and I'm going to be doing a different card this week using the same set. I've had a big weekend. I have decided I'm rearranged my craft room in the sense that I've rearranged all my cardstock in rainbow colour, and I've also rearranged my ink pads in rainbow colour. See whether I like it or not. That'll be the test. I haven't got round to doing the blends yet. I have classes coming up on Wednesday, so I need to be organised for that. So that's where I am at the moment, and it will be interesting when I've got it done and if it works. And I've just rearranged the craft room so that my computer is in front of me instead of over to the side all the time when I'm looking to see if I can find comments. At least I'm more than likely going to look at it at the front rather than from behind. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll flip the camera down and then we will get going. It won't be a sec. Okay, let's make sure I'm in camera. Pop my light on. There we go, got plenty of light there. Oops. So I'll get that in the way. Right, our clearance rack. It's been updated. There's plenty happening in there, so lots and lots of goodies. So you can get 60% off. Our last chance sale, which is the last of the old catalogue, is still running until the 1st of May. So there's a couple of days, today and tomorrow, that you've got left to be able to get those sort of things. So my suggestion is to jump on and get them while they're available. Once they're gone, I'm sorry to say. Now, as of Wednesday, our wonderful new catalogue will go live. And when I mean live, it means you can order from it. And that makes it so much easier to be able to, I could show you the catalogue, I could show you what's inside, and it means that there'll be a lot more to see. I've got little tabs on mine. I'm got to get them organised in a bit better order than what I've got, but I'll get that done eventually. Nearly showed you the catalogue, didn't I? Whoops. Okay, we've talked about the clearance rack. Move that out of the way. And then also happening as of Wednesday is a joining offer, which I think is absolutely fabulous. If you join my team, and I would love to have you as part of my team, you can get an extra $144 worth of items. What that includes will be the 5 ink pads, this size, not little spots, this size ink pads. You will also receive this pack of 5 Stampin' Right markers. You will also receive a pack of A4 cardstock of all the in colours. I think it's 4 sheets each of the 5 that you'll get in the pack. And you will also receive the 6x6 Designer Series paper. So that's valued at $144. But you also get to choose $235 of your choice. So that's yours. So you can pick out the items. These are picked by Stamping Up for you, but you'll get to choose those other items. So in value, you're going to end up roughly with 300 and, I did have it worked out the other day, and $379. There's no shipping involved off your first order. And then you can order and just be a hobby demonstrator. So any orders that you place, you will receive 20% off. I think it's a great offer, and I would love to see you join and be part of the Stamping Up community. It's such a great community, and I know myself, I joined a bit over 5 years ago with the sole intention of just being a hobby demonstrator. And then I decided to do some classes, and from there it has grown a little bit more. And I'm just doing it at my pace, what suits me. I only started Facebook Lives at the end of last year, so that was something new. And I'm loving it, surprisingly. So again, there's something else, but it's not for everybody. I have many demonstrator friends that are only out for the discount. So please don't hesitate to give me a message and let me know that you're interested in being part of this, and I can discuss it with you about what is expected of you. But there is no contract. You can join up just to get this and not do another thing, and you'll just go back to being a customer. Or you can come and continue on and enjoy the benefits that Stamping Up have to offer. And those benefits are fabulous. And the Stamping Up community is such a helpful community, such a grateful to have those people around in my life, and we learn off them. And there are things that Stamping Up demonstrators get to have, such as on stage, other events that are for demonstrators only. So there's a lot more than just being a customer. So think about that, as I would love you to join. Right, I'll pop that out of the way. Business done. Okay, now as I said, we're going to use the Spotlight on Nature. Now this was the stamp set that I picked out for our after hours that we had on stage. I picked it out more for the dies because they're absolutely lovely circle dies that we did. So I mainly picked them out, and I featured them last week. So pop back and have a look at that video so you know. But strangely enough, I have been loving the stamp set more than I thought I would. It is such a great stamp set, and it is truly an amazing one, and I love it. Demonstrators have not been able to order it, only those that went to on stage that are the ones that have got it, because it wasn't on pre-order. But it will be available as of Wednesday. So today, first of all, I want to talk to you about a colour I'm going to be using, and that is this colour. And this is called Basic Beige. And it's been added to our group of neutrals. So if I show you here, I've got Crumb Cake, Basic Beige, Very Vanilla, and White. So you've got a very small tonal change from the white to the Crumb Cake with these two colours. And I actually love the basic beige. It's a great base colour when you don't want white or you don't need a creamy vanilla colour. You don't really want brown or a sandy colour. So this is a really nice neutral colour, and as I said, it's new to the whole one, which is very unusual after we had our big revamp last year. So it's very unusual to get a new colour and going into our kits, and it matches in really well with the neutral colours that we have in our range. So that's what I'm using today. So I've got a piece of basic beige, and it measures 21 by 14.9, and it is scored at 10.5. Then I have, now, wouldn't be me without holes in some of my papers, would there? So I was punching out some circles. So I've got a piece here which is 10 centimetres by 14.4, 9.5 by 13.9, and then a piece of white 9 by 12.9. No, 13.4, sorry. My apologies. I just look at my notes, 13.4. So that's for my inside. So as you can see, it didn't matter that those pieces were cut out. Hello, Cherry. How are you today? Hope it's nice up in Conniva. So that's for those. Then for the outside, I have got, we're going to do it in landscape mode today. I've got a piece of Shy Shamrock. Again, it's a new colour. I forgot to mention the colours there. So I've got a lovely piece of Shy Shamrock, which I have embossed in a folder that's been around for a couple of years now, which is called the Fern 3D embossing folder. So to save you watching me do that, I just decided to do, I don't know if you can, some colour behind it again. So it's absolutely beautiful with the ferns, and it just looks fabulous. I really love that one. So I'm glad that stayed in. I then have a strip of peach pie, which is 2.5 centimetres by 14.9. Sorry, I had to look at my notes to see what I had. I've got a piece of Shy Shamrock, which is 10 centimetres by 7. Got some peach pie, which is 0.5 centimetre down, which is 6.5 by 9.5, and then a piece of white, which is 6 by 9. And then I've got a 2 centimetre strip to go in for my sentiment. And then I've got a piece of scrap paper in which I'm going to stamp on, because I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting and we're going to have a little bit of fun. And then I'll show you a couple of cards that I had done previously to set this up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lovely big leaf one. And I'm going to use the Shy Shamrock. I'm going to ink that up. And when I ink this up, I'm going to make sure that it's properly inked. And I'm just going to stamp that down there. And then I'm going to get my Wink of Stella. And I'm just going to pull that colour through the leaf. I'm hoping you can see me. I haven't gone out of the frame because I'm very good at doing that. I'm used to having everything close to me. I will get better. So just Wink of Stella. And just drag that colour through. It's only going to be very, very soft. I don't want it to be heavy. I'm just dragging that ink. And by doing this straight away, it allows for that little bit of ink to just soften the leaves. Just bring that through like so. So if I bring that a bit closer, you should be able to see how the leaves have just gone and had a little bit of colour gone through this. So I hope you can see the beautiful shine on it. So we've just got a little bit of that on there. Then on our inside piece, I'm going to repeat the same process. And I'm going to stamp this up. And I'm just going to pop it down in the corner like so. Just get my chamois to pick up that bit of ink that went over there. And again, I'll repeat the same process with this. So I'm just going to pick up the leaf and bring that colour through. Now the thing is, you can use watercolour paper, and then you can use your what do you call them? These that hold the water. You can play. Oh, the name's gone to me. Come on, Cherry, help me out. The name has gone completely out of my head. So we're just going to add a little bit of colour to that. Just dragging it through. So mainly dragging it from the centre through. So again, I've got a bit of colour there. So I'll clean my Wink of Stella brush so there's no green on it. And then I'll pop this away. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gorgeous little butterfly, and I'm going to repeat the process with the butterfly. So on the inside, I'm going to take the thing and just pop the butterfly in there. And I will just, while it's damp and the ink's there, just start blending it out. So it's going to be very sparkly, but just enough. Because certainly the butterflies, we certainly know butterflies can be very beautiful, but at the same time, you know, I think more into the moths, they're much duller. But yeah, so there's that one done. Now I'll take my scrap paper and we'll do another butterfly here, because we're going to fussy cut this out. I'm sorry, I'm going to make you sit and watch me fussy cut. But there are no dies in this set for the images. As I said, that the set comes with absolutely beautiful circle dies. And yeah, so they didn't have dies for the images. Okay, so I'm just going to take those two and put my ink away and grab my scissors, and I'm going to take these two and cut them out. Thank you, Summer Splash. Did I forget to mention it, Cherry? I don't know where my head is today. It's unbelievable. Thank you, Sherry. So we just give that, I want a very fine border around my leaves. Which is your favourite colour, Cherry, in the new in colours? I haven't decided. I thought it was Petunia Pop, which I have used a little bit of, but I have been using the Summer Splash and Shy Shamrock, and yeah, I've been finding there also some really great greens, and they certainly complement each other in whatever you're doing, so they're really great. So remember, when you're fussy cutting, it's all about moving the paper, not your blades of your scissors. Sometimes I'm inclined to forget that, and then when I realise, I know it makes a big difference when you're doing thing. Getting that. I hope that didn't come through. I forgot to put do not disturb. But anyway, whoever it was, I will hear from them a bit later. Okay, so there's the leaves. You like the greens too. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? They're just, yeah. At first I wasn't sure of them, but now that I've been using them, I do think they are so complementary. Because a lot of our other ones that we've had are quite dark, and they were never my favourite ones, the dark ones. Okay, we will go through. As I said, even though they haven't got dies with these, they're not hard to fussy cut. They are really quite easy, and that's probably an advantage that we've got, is that the images are quite simple to cut. Okay. Hard to believe we're the 1st of March, 1st of May, on Wednesday. It's just where's the month's gone. Right, got all our bits and pieces. So first of all, I'm going to glue these inside pieces together. So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue, just pop that in there. And I'm doing this the reverse to the other one, because they've both got holes cut out on one end, and I've just trimmed this to fit. And see, look, you can't see that there was a hole there. And I've got a little bit of glue sticking up because it was a bit fine. Now, if you've got that problem with a bit of glue, and I did have it a minute ago, I use my embossing buddy. As I said, I've shifted things on my desk. I used it earlier and it's gone walkabout. Oh well, it will turn up at the end of today. I'll do something and it will be staring at me, and it will be laughing, saying, haha, I told you where I was. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take some glue again, and I find that the liquid glue allows me to manipulate and move, but don't go too close to the edge, because that's what I did back there and I made a big boo-boo with that. So pop that on, and there we go. So that's our inside. So we'll get that out of the way and put that away. I'm not worried about the glue there because of the simple reason that will be hidden. Running out of glue. I'm trying to use up the copious amounts of half-used bottles of glue that are just a little bit hard to use, and I've got about four cups with glues in them. So I'll leave them sitting upside down for a while so I can use them up. Right, so there's our inside of the card. Now we'll worry about the front. So what I did was I lined this up on my glass mat, and I put some glue on the back of this. And I think I might have to leave that one aside and grab one of my other ones, which is hiding. Should have got this ready earlier. Sorry, I keep dropping off the screen. I don't mean to. I just move it back down close to where I am. And I'm sorry about that. So I take this. Now what I'm looking for is about 1 centimetre up. And I line this piece up nicely with the cardstock, making sure it's all straight. And this is where the liquid glue comes in really handy. Okay, there we go. So about 1 centimetre from the bottom. Then I'm going to take my peach pie strip. Whoa, I can tell that that one's new. And then I'm going to, again, I've got this lined up, and I'm going to go another centimetre up. So basically what I've done is put the first piece 1 centimetre up, put the second piece 2 centimetres, but 1 centimetre from the green. So I have those 2 pieces in place like so. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to get this lovely little splatter stamp. Got it bad, terrible. And I'm just going to pop that and take it in the peach pie, and I'm just going to stamp randomly around. So my leaf is going to go underneath this, but I'm just going to sort of make like a flower pattern. So I've just gone and put that in there randomly. So I'll have a look at my, and just needs a little bit more out this way. So to it. So look at how I want my leaf placed, and I think that's just enough. Maybe just a tiny bit there. There we go. So just have a look at it. Have a look how you would like it to be. And it's just giving it a bit of extra dimension underneath. So then I'm going to get my mini dimensionals, and I'm going to pop them on here. This is going to raise it up and just, again, give it a bit of dimension. And the mini dimensionals are perfect for something like this because they're nice and small, and it means I can get down a little bit low where the vine stem is near the card. So I'll pop that there, and then I'll just carefully take these off. I'll be lost without my Take Pick tool because it's just such a good one for picking up dimensionals. We don't always have fingernails to do it with. Right, take that, lay that across like so. Now I'm going to take one dimensional because it does need a little bit underneath there, and I'm going to cut this one in half. It is only small. I'm going to cut that in half. So I'm just going to take a small piece and take the backing off while it's still stuck to my finger. Come on, Charlie. Going to cooperate today? No. Wants to come off, but it just, there we go, we got it. I'm just going to take that and put it down here, not too far down, but as long as it's not showing, I've got that down there. It just holds the leaf a little bit better in place. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together. Just make sure you've got the gaps. Sorry, I keep forgetting where I am. I've got to work out a way. Oops, this is what liquid glue does. Just popping that in place. And then I'm going to take some more dimensionals, and I'll get my bigger ones for this one. And I'm going to pop just 4 dimensionals on this one, because I've got dimensionals in the middle, so that won't sag at all. Another sheet gone, but I'm not throwing it away. I use every little bit. So take the backs off these, and then I'm going to lay that just on there, leaving that little border. There's that. Then I'm going to just take my little dimensionals, and I'm just going to put 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. And again, there's a lot of thickness in the middle, so if it sags, it's not going to matter a lot, and this helps a lot for postage as well. Okay, let's remove those. And then I'm going to take this and line this up again, and I'm going to have a look at it, and I want it about half a centimetre away from the edge, just half to 3, well, even a centimetre. Just lining it up, making sure it's straight, because we're going to put some gems down there, so we don't want it too close to the edge. And there's that. So as you can see, there's our card at this stage. It's a relatively simple one. Well, I think it is. So I'm going to take this, because this piece will fit in like so, and that's how I want it to go. So I'm going to use, and I'm thinking I might use one, if I can. This is an online stamp set called Sweetly Scripted. It's got these beautiful scripted sentiments, and yeah, I'm just thinking maybe if I take the happy birthday like so, I must admit sometimes I forget to try and mix and match stamp sets, especially if they don't have a lot of sentiments in. Excuse me. That's better. You go live and you start coughing. Yeah, that will fit in there nicely. Okay. Take that out of the way. And I'm going to get a block. Oh dear, oh dear. Take my block. And I'm only going to really centre where the sentiment is. That's all I really want. I'm going to, sorry, I'm going to go and stamp that reasonably over to the right side. Oh, wow. How nice is that stamp? So what I want to do is pop that like so. I like that. Maybe, yep. Maybe trim a little bit off one end. Yeah, I think I'll take a tiny bit off this other end. Just get my trimmer, because I can't cut straight for trying. just taking a small piece off. I'll go back and have a look to see that it looks sort of even. That's better. Happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to pop some glue on that. Just slide that into place, like so. Such a pretty card. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to curl the leaves, or curl the wings. Okay, Anita, you know what you're talking about. Drop down the camera a little bit because you seem to be too far away. That's a bit better. You can see it better. I was getting a bit lost there. So just get a couple of dimensionals and I'm just going to pop it on the body side of our butterfly. Just a couple of tiny ones. And then I'm going to pop that, making sure it doesn't go over the top. And that will sit like that. Now I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm just going to tap over the card because you've got to have a little bit of Wink of Stella. So there's just a tiny bit on there. Didn't quite come out. Maybe it needs a bit more. Might be up for a new Wink of Stella. If I'm using something glittery, I like to make sure it's got plenty of glitter all over. That's better. There's got a bit more glitter to it. Now I'm going to add a couple of gems and I'm going to use these gems which are called the 2024 to 2026 In Colour Shimmer Gems. So I'm just going to take three. Oh, no, actually I'm not going to use the green. I think I'll go back to, oh dear, Okay, help me out, ladies. Actually, I don't know. I think the greens tie in better with the whole page, so I'll just put some. So I've got a large, just two large. Just going to pop one of each there. I thought that was a medium, but they're both large. So just put two on the side there. Then I'm going to take my ribbon, and this ribbon is absolutely beautiful. Little stitching down the side, so it's really lovely. So all I'm going to do for this, and I leave my ribbon on my roll when I'm using it because it means I can just take it and go with it. So I'm just going to tie it into a knot, pull it nice and firm knot inside, and then I'm going to cut the ends, and I'm going to pop that there, and I'm going to get, sorry about that noise, didn't mean to do that. I'm just going to get a glue dot and I'm just going to sit that on the end of that there and pop that in place. So there we are. There's the card. So simple and yet I think so pretty. So it's just very simple and there's your inside. I did a couple of others and these ones I had to play with some watercolour and Wink of Stella. So there's one in the Petunia Pop and Pretty in Pink. And again, exactly the same inside. And this one is Pumpkin Pie and Mossy Meadow on the basic beige. And again, there's the stamp. So they're the three Yeah, the two I did previously, and there's the one I've done today. So just using up, pretty well based on this one that I had done first, but using up the new colours that are available. And I think this is a simple card that can be mass produced. It's one that you could quite comfortably do if you wanted to do swaps or whatever. It's just a matter of how you pick them up in how they go. So they're really quite pretty. So I hope you like them. So I'll just flip the camera around. Make sure I've got the right button. So I do hope you enjoyed that today. And move back a bit. Forgot that I took everything down. So I hope you enjoyed it today. It's a quick card, quick and simple, and I think you'll like it. Anyway, I will catch up with you all later, and I'll see you next week at 1:30 on Monday. Bye for now.